Right, in this video I'm going to give you my take on the cafe racer style, what a true cafe racer is and how any bike can be a cafe racer, including my 2020 Bobber Black here. I love cafe racers and the cafe racer style. I say cafe racer style because most cafe racers now are a cafe racer style rather than a true cafe racer. A bit like my Triumph Bobber. I consider my Triumph Bobber to be a bobber style or a tribute to Triumph Bobbers rather than what a true bobber really is. However, my bike can be a true bobber, just like a cafe racer style bike can be a true cafe racer. I love the cafe racer style. I love the arse up, head down stance. Even though a lot of scramblers seem to be called cafe racers now for some reason. I'm not sure about this. I love the individual thinking people put into cafe racers and the imaginative solutions they have to getting over problems. I love the sportiness, the clean look, the attention to detail. I love seeing the transformation of a big, ugly, boring bike become a nimble, sporty, exciting machine. I love the creativeness of the style and the way people can really use their bikes to express their artistic creativity. Personally, I love bright, bold, contrasting, in-your-face colours, which cafe racers are. But there's also the more subtle pastel colours and the brown leather and the vintage styling, which isn't really my thing. That's why my Ironstone Bobber now looks like this. I find cafe racers really inspiring bikes for modifications, art and aesthetics. And a really inspiring YouTube channel is Racer TV. The amount of research and work that goes into that channel is really inspiring. So a big thanks to Racer TV. I'll put a link below this video so you can check that channel out. And I've also taken some clips from that channel. So thanks once again, Racer TV. So with that said, what is a true cafe racer? In the 60s, guys used to hang out on their bikes at cafes. And one of the most famous cafes for this was the Ace Cafe in London. I believe it's situated on the North Circular Road in London, which is also where they'd race their bikes. The thing to do would be to put a tune on a jukebox and jump on your bike, see if you could get along a certain piece of road and back again before the tune finished. And hopefully alive, which a lot of people didn't manage, unfortunately. The guys would modify their bikes to be faster, lighter and handle better. Many of them with a really small budget and limited tools, which is certainly why I can relate to it with my Bobber and the Bobber vlog. This to me is what a true cafe racer is. So if you have any bike and race it between cafes, it's a cafe racer. So your Harley Davidson, your Triumph Bobber or your Indian can be a cafe racer.
So what is a cafe racer? Is that a cafe racer? That's a cafe. So they could all be cafe racers. That could be a cafe racer. Racing between cafes.
Going back to the 60s cafe racers in the UK, one of the fastest production bikes at the time was the Triumph Bonneville. And one of the things to do was to be able to hit 100 miles an hour and be a ton-up boy. And the Triumph Bonneville could certainly do this. The bikes and the racing at the time were inspired by Isle of Man TT. This is a race in the Isle of Man on a 37-mile track, which is closed public roads, where you're racing really scary average speeds with being millimetres away from brick walls and houses, dealing with obstacles like animals and the weather. And people are achieving really, really scary average speeds, especially nowadays. So I think this is why you see many cafe racers with a single seat and seat cowl. There's a really cool documentary you can watch done by the BBC about the glory days of British motorcycles and about the TT race and about cafe racers and the Ace Cafe and ton-up boys. I'll put a link for that in the description below. It's well worth a watch. At my local drag strip where I take the Bobber, there's a cafe just in line with the start line, which you also have to come past when you're finished on the return road. So could that be cafe racing? So there you have it. That's what I believe cafe racers are. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because just like people, bikes are individual and it doesn't matter what the f*** you call them. And you don't have to have a beard and a moustache to ride a cafe racer. I don't like labels, I don't like pigeonholing things, and I hate the word genre. I also don't follow fashion because I believe it takes away people's individuality. And as Bob Marley once said, people laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at them because they're all the same. Have a great day. Oh, and if you like what I do and you want to help keep me motivated to create content, then you can buy me a coffee. There'll be a link for that below too.